We're here to do a parole hearing for Mr. Turks. Mr. Turks, would you please introduce yourself by giving us your full name and DOC number for the record?
Draymond Bundre Turks, 331953.
All right, I'm gonna give you a brief explanation of the process. First, I'm gonna read some information, ask you to verify it, then we're gonna give you a chance to speak. Tell us what you did to get yourself in trouble and what you've done since that would make us want to release you early. We'll ask the warden to give us some input. We'll ask the public for some input. We'll ask the opposition for input. We'll conduct an interview and we'll begin. Today, we have for parole consideration, Draymond Turks, DOC number 331953, who's a fifth class felony offender who was convicted of attempted first-degree murder and first-degree feticide. And on 1/22/08 was sentenced to serve 50 years without benefit of probation, parole, or suspension of sentence, plus 10 years consecutive in Bossier Parish. Your parole eligibility date is February 24th, 26, and your good time date is 2/21/51. Your full term date is 2/17/66. Does that sound correct to you, Mr. Turk?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead and tell us what you've done to get yourself that type of a sentence and those kind of charges, and what you've done since then that would make us want to release you early.
Sir, on February the 18th, 2006, me and Tony Neal got into an argument, which I left the house to get away from, and went to the bar and did some drinking, did a little cocaine, and went to another location and did a little more drinking and a little more cocaine. And upon returning to my residence, I discovered another male, Gantry DeBose, in my living room with Tony Neal, enjoying each other's company. And at that time, I insisted that Gantry DeBose exit my home, and he did so. And me and Tony Neal had a few words, and then I left to try to calm down. And I went up the street and was telling somebody about it, and they offered me a weapon. And by this point, I was blinded by rage. I went back and I shot Gantry DeBose numerous times. Once in the head, once in the buttocks, and once in the shoulder and side of the face area with the 28 shotgun shooting bird shots. Then I went next door to Tony Neal's house and kicked the door in, being dramatic, and chased her out the back door, shot her once in the upper area. I never found out exactly where, but in the upper area, and I killed her. And I took off running. And I immediately regretted my actions. I wish I could have taken the bullet back as it was being fired. I was madly in love with Neal, and we was building a family together. And I was just so blinded by rage that I couldn't think straight at night when I committed these offenses. And I never once even considered that she was pregnant with my child, no less, that night until after I had committed these crimes. And I've never been afforded the opportunity to apologize to Tony Neal's family or Gantry DeBose and his family. But if ever given the opportunity, I would like to tell them how sorry I am for things that I've taken from them, the crimes that I committed. That I did a lot of horrible things, but I didn't mean any of them. I can only imagine the things that I put you all through. But all I can do now is, since I've been incarcerated, is try to follow my 8th step, which is making amends to those that I've hurt. That's basically all I do during this incarceration, is try to help people to better atone for my actions. So I've taken all of the programs that this facility has allowed me to get in. And my biggest influential class was victim impact, because it taught me about the financial pain and my problems that my actions have caused. It's taught me about the emotional and psychological long-term effects of my crime. I don't live that life no more. And through the programs that these classes have taught me, such as substance abuse classes, living in balance, it's anger management. They taught me how to better control my emotions and my feelings. And since I've made this transformation in my life and doing the right thing, I do everything I can to be the best version of myself that is possible, sir. I've taken CPR classes so that I can better assist the people around me and help them with their medical conditions and medical issues. And I've done these things several times. I've recently applied to get in cat law CDL driving school if this parole board permits my release in Georgia. Now, I'm also prepared to enroll in line to continue my AA study to better control my addictions, because I know they led to a bunch of my problems. Is from my addiction that I take full responsibility and accountability for. And before I close this statement, I'd like to reiterate how apologetic and sorry I am to the Niels family, as well as Gantry DeBose and his family.
I would like to hear from the warden if you have any comments about this offender's conduct and rehabilitative efforts.
I do. He's been with us since 2009, and while here, he has taken every class we offer, as well as some vocational classes. So he's doing some good things here. He's setting himself up for when he does get out, where his reentry will be favorable. The only thing I would recommend is that, based on the things that he said to me yesterday in our interview and today, that if he is released, he be allowed to take some type of long-term substance abuse program to give him that extra step in moving forward if he is released.
Yeah, today we have in support who would like to speak. Stella Turks, the offender's sister. Would you go ahead and let us know what you got to say?
Good morning. I'm Sergeant First Class retired, Stella Renee Turks. I am the big sister of Drummond Andre Turks. I call him Dingy because he's my little brother, and that's what we call him. I see a lot of changes in my little brother. He's actually helped me as far as family wise, dealing with family. Trying to make sure that I don't close my mind out to different family members and things. And so he's helped me with that. And I can see the difference in my little brother. And we understand that, what he did was wrong. We do understand that. I do understand that we love that girl. I love her like a little sister. And that can never, it cannot change. That can never change. But I'm just asking the parole board to just hear us out and to see all the good things that he has accomplished while in prison. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be great as being released, because I've already talked to the truck driving place that he wants to get in. I've already talked to the lady there. She's already said that she'll accept him. I've already talked to a couple places that they will accept him for the AA classes, and even if he needs boarding, but he will not need boarding because he will be if the parole board releases him, he will be living with me in my home in Georgia. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to us. God bless you.
Thank you. We also have in support the Keisha Turks cousin, who does not want to speak. We have in support Jean Turks, a cousin who is not speaking.
I don't mind speaking.
You would like to speak?
Yes, sir. I don't mind speaking.
Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, panel. I am Gene Turks. I worked with the probation department in Texas in an administrative position for over 10 years. I call him affectionately Dinky. Vermont is my cousin. And I just wanted to let you guys know that his family is in full support of him. And we are ready to provide any any type of support that is needed to help him be successful on re-entry into society. Also, I wanted to reiterate that it has been 20 years since he's been locked up. And, the best that we can hope is that someone is penitent and that they are sorry and that they have learned from the crimes that they have done. That's the best that we could all hope for. I spoke to his mother the other day, and she was in tears at how penitent he was towards his crimes. And this has been 20 years ago, and he is still that way when he talks about the crime. He is very emotional, and she is always caught off guard by just how sorry he is for what he has done. Again, like I said, it's been 20 years. And in that 20 years, Drummond has had really no reason to believe that he'd ever be released. But the only thing that he has had is hope. And in that hope, he has used that to his advantage. And what he has done is, in that time, he has gone back to school. He has self-educated himself. He has become a trustee. And as you guys know, becoming a trustee is no easy feat. But he has been a trustee for about 8 years. 8 years he has been a trustee in this facility. As well, he has also created programs for other inmates here in this facility. On top of all of that, he also has a child. And as you know, little girls need their daddies and sons definitely need their fathers. He has a son who needs everything that he is today. All the man that he has become today, his son needs him today. So what I want you guys to know is that his family loves him. We're ready for him to be released. We're prepared with resources. He is penitent and he has a child that needs him. So with that said, we would hope that you individually, the individuals who individually make you each up, would allow him to have that opportunity. The one thing I can say is when I listened to the story that his mom shared with me about being penitent, he will never be able to escape what he has done. And not only can he not escape it mentally, it is clear that whether he is locked up here or set free, he is always contained in that prison. And the only thing that can let him free is you guys or the family's acceptance from the person that he hurt. That is so important to him. That's all that I have to say, and I hope that you guys side in his favor.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
We also,
Board member. I do want to also reiterate that I do have a church family that is willing and ready to accept my brother, because I do work diligently in my church, and my pastor and the deacons are already aware. And yes,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. We also have in support, Damika Davila, a niece who's present at RLC and not speaking. That's the people in support. Today, in opposition, we have opposition from one of the victims' mother is opposed. We also have strong opposition from the judge in the case, the district attorney in the case, the sheriff in the case, and the Louisiana Attorney General. Does anybody on the panel have any more questions?
Yes, I do. Mr. Turks, you're a 5th class offender, is that correct?
Yes, sir, ma'am.
And you committed this offense at around 34 years old?
At 30, ma'am.
Okay, and you have served 20 years
20 years and 4 months?
of a 60-year sentence.
Yes,
This was a plea agreement? You pled down to this charge?
yes, ma'am.
Because in actuality, we have 2 murders and an attempted murder. And so you pled down to 60.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they wanted a death penalty, didn't they?
They didn't specify the sentencing, but I had 1 murder charge and 1 feticide and an attempted murder, ma'am.
I don't have any other questions at this time.
I'd like to go into executive session, please.
I'll second.
In favor?
Tillis,
Yes.
Byron,
Yes.
Ledoux.
Yes.
All right, without objection, we're back into regular session and we're ready to take the vote. Ms. Ledoux, you're assigned the case, so you vote first.
Mr. Turks, my vote today is to deny parole based on the fact that you have a strong history of violence and that you pled down. I believe that you're moving in the right direction, but I'm not prepared today to vote for parole. Thank you.
Mr. Tillis.
Mr. Turf, I believe you've made a turn for the best. And a lot of my decisions are made on what wardens say because they're with you most of the time. And I really hope that you continue on this path. My vote's going to be today is to grant.
Mr. Turks, my vote today is also going to be to deny your parole request because not enough time has been served yet. 20 years with 3 victims, 2, 3, however you count it. Keep on the right track and apply again. So what that means is a vote of 2-1. Your parole request has been denied. This would conclude our business with you today at 10:51 a.m. Good luck to you.